And welcome back to the MLG 2K. It's Mr. X, and that's Dom Wisdom. And right now, we got rid of that other game because they're very slow. I don't like slow people. She's a girl. She's extremely impatient. So right now, we're in a game against, it's compLexity against Ruse, which Ruse is Parasite's little brother's team, I believe. Ruse Shock is Parasite's younger brother, Mike. And they're going to be going against compLexity here. I think they're just vetoing the maps, and we have everybody in the lobby, so that's all we're waiting for right now.
Yeah, I mean, Chris's little brother, he's very enigmatic on Twitter. We'll put it that way.
Okay, big words, big words.
Do you know what enigmatic means, Matthew?
Big words. Anyway, I'm just waiting for Clayster in the lobby. And then we're going to get this one started up. But it looks like the first map might be Strike Zone Domination, which it's one of compLexity's better maps. You know, they run 3 submachine gun players with Aches, Crim, and Teep all running submachine guns, and Clayster holding down those outside flags with ARs. And I think we're going to see them try and spawn trap Ruse inside that B flag in the bar, and that seems to be the most effective strategy in this map.
We saw that used a couple times in Columbus. With Strike Zone, it is a smaller map, so like you said, it is very easy to get that spawn trap in, and once you're spawn trapped, it's very, very difficult to push out, especially with the way we get melted on Ghosts.
Right, yeah, the kill times on Ghosts, especially on LAN, are extremely fast. So when you're stuck in that bar area, there's only 3 exits. The front bar, that kitchen room, and then back bar. So with 4 people, it's pretty easy to watch those 3 exits. Usually you'd like to have a submachine gun in the back bar area. Somebody on that mid staircase watching that exit out of kitchen, it's extremely hard to get an AR player out of there. And then you can have a submachine gun player sit in kind of that burger stand, kind of off to the left up those stairs, and then another submachine gun player outside of that front door. And that guy at burger is essential because he can rotate and he can pick up kitchen, he can pick up the front bar, and also if needed, he can rotate all the way around to get back bar and help C.
Guys, if you want to learn how to play Strike Zone, Mr. X just explained.
I just told you how to win.
Exactly.
But you know, a lot of teams they try and spawn trap inside that B bar area, and they just can't do it. They can't hold those A and C flags. Like a team like Envy, they have some struggles with it too. They've been talking about it where they can't really trap those players inside the B bar area. So they've been taking their home flag and B and playing off of that, which is also a viable strategy. It's off the break. It's extremely important. If you can push the other team's flag and neutralize it or just get it off of them off the break, you can save tons of time and just make up tons of points just by having the other team's flag neutral.
Yeah, and we saw that used a couple times again in Columbus as well. It wasn't one of the Opti matches, but it came right down to the wire, and all it took was a flag neutralization, and the game ended up finishing about a 2-point differential, and sometimes that's all you need in Domination.
Yeah, you know, one thing that we talk about as a team, that if we don't have that B middle flag, the best strategy is to go to their home flag, try and neutralize it, force them to rotate back off of that middle flag, and then when it's neutral, then you try and just jump on that middle flag and take that. And that's a strategy I'm seeing a lot of teams adopt going into the next events like Philly and all these 2K events and 5Ks on the weekends, is that when you're trapped and you just have that your home flag, instead of going for B and just trying to slay for slay at B, you can sneak a guy around to C or A, whichever one is not your home flag, and try and neutralize that and force the other team to rotate and move around and pick up easy kills and then take B.
Now, do you find that teams have adapted from what you've seen quite easily to playing different game types like Domination compared to something like Hardpoint and Black Ops 2?
You know, Domination compared to Hardpoint and Black Ops 2 is a lot slower paced. It's a lot more of a mind game, lots of mentality, and it's more positioning than Hardpoint was. Hardpoint, it was a lot of chaos. I mean, there was some positioning regarding anchors and spawns, but it was mostly about just controlling that area, and it was extremely fast-paced. You didn't need to really play 2 together. I mean, you can spread out and get things done, but it looks like actually the map's going to change, and it looks like we're going to be playing Sovereign Domination for the first map. So this is actually one of my favorite Domination maps to watch. It's one of the more action-packed Domination maps in the game.
I like Sovereign on S&D.
Okay.
Domination, I have to say Strike Zone's pretty good, but Sovereign, no. Okay, so Sovereign, bigger map, a little bit more dimension to this map. What would you suggest for maybe newer upcoming players when you're playing Sovereign on Domination?
Okay, so this map's one of my favorite because it's one of the only symmetrical maps that we play, which means pretty much both sides are pretty even, pretty much the same. So what we like to do on this map is we like to send our ARs our ARs green server side. So the ARs are going to lock down that long green street by the servers, and we like to flood our submachine gun players through control in that bottom snake area and really push through to their home flag or into that little middle area and get beat. And that's what we've been having the most effective playstyle on. I mean, this is probably our best domination map, I would say. It's one of our most consistent ones because it's very symmetrical. It plays a lot like Hardpoint almost in Black Ops 2, where it was the maps were fairly even, spawns were fairly even for both sides, and all the maps are pretty symmetrical. So this is one of the maps we've adopted to fairly easily so far.
Okay, and this, from being that the map is symmetrical, I'm guessing that this map is probably, there's less downside to switching sides, I guess, halfway through the domination match.
Yeah, no, there's really no downside to either side on this map, to be honest. I mean, they're both pretty much built the same. I actually prefer when when C is our home flag, personally, because you can neutralize A pretty easily. There's that huge top area that you can just sneak in and hide out and just kind of sneak there and wait for a good opportunity to neutralize A. And it's pretty spread out, the map. It's fairly big. And if you can force them to go all the way back to A or send 1 or 2 players back, I mean, that could really ruin a whole team's round.
Okay, no. And this map, I'm assuming on Strike Zone, you said you guys prefer to cap AC and then spawn trap in B.
Right.
This one, it's easier to have a home flag in B, I'm guessing.
Yeah, this one
B is a bit contested.
this map, it's much easier to take your home flag and take B, and you can hold B pretty easily. You can have a guy top control, just kind of watch their spawn, and if B's coming under contestation, then you can just jump down and kill those players, or you can even have him sit all the way in the bottom by that ladder area and just kind of wait and camp and be really annoying and just climb ladders and throw grenades, and it can get really frustrating for the other team when they get 1 or 2 players down, they're jumping on B and they think they're going to take it, and you're throwing nades from the bottom or coming up the ladders behind them.
Yeah, and you make a good point. We've been seeing, especially since Columbus, we've been seeing a lot more teams use that underground path, whereas before more teams would push through like top control or sit in like the bird's nest area and just kind of watch over B. Right. But now they're trying to be a little bit sneakier on Sovereign.
Yeah, exactly, and that's one of the things I think we're seeing on all maps for domination is players are just being a lot more sneakier in general. We see it on Blitz all the time where you'll see a player just not shoot at somebody and just let him walk by. It's smarter play. And actually, we were waiting on Clayster, and Clayster just joined. He's probably just getting up. He's probably not feeling too well. Yesterday was a Saturday night, so right now it looks like everybody's here. We should start soon. And what is your prediction for this match so far? What are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I'm going to say it's going to be a Cole sweep.
Okay.
Yeah. I have faith in your Call of Duty boys, but... Yeah.
I'm interested to see Parasite's little brother play, to be honest.
He's actually pretty good. I cast a couple matches for him back in the summertime when he was on... Oh, what squad was he on? He's been on a couple different squads. Yeah. And that's something we talked about before as well, was
he's been searching for that team. He's been searching for that team.
And I don't think he's found it. I don't think he's quite found it yet. He has been with this Ruse roster a couple times, so hopefully this is one that he can stick with going into future events.
Right. I actually had the opportunity to meet him in Anaheim, and he's a funny guy, Mike. You know, the Parasite, Chris, and his brother, they're both funny, nice guys. So, I mean, it'd be nice to see him do well, but I'm going to take complexity in this one. Shocking pick right there. I'm sure I shocked a lot of people with that pick, right?
Completely unbiased opinion.
Unbiased opinions always. And then next round, I really want to jump in with FaZe against Justice. I think that's going to be a great game. You have Enable and Ace, 2 of the most successful Halo players ever. Switching over to Call of Duty, very controversial decision by FaZe to drop Spacely and Huddle and pick up 2 Halo players and to team with Replays and Classic. But in my opinion, I think it'll work, and I think it has tons of upside. If they can teach those 2 players how to, not really teach them, but get them further up to speed on how to play Call of Duty, I think you can see great things out of that team.
Absolutely, and I think Enable and Ace, we both saw them do some good work over in Columbus.
Yeah.
They were playing with, I believe, their Primal squad.
Yes, it was Formal and Snakebite. Yep.
Yeah, and I think we could see a lot of the Halo players upset this year. I mean, last year, obviously, Crim made some big waves as kind of the first Halo and COD Pro.
Yeah, Crim's pretty good at video games, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. And The game's actually starting up. I'm not lying to you. It's actually the game's actually beginning.
Wait, we're actually in a match?
Yeah, no, there's like actually people gonna shoot at other people. Like we're not gonna just sit here. Like it's actually gonna happen. Yeah, no, I know. I'm shocked too. So right now, actually, I'm on board with TP, and to be honest, I think TP right now is the best player in Call of Duty Ghosts. His submachine gun play, I mean, he's supposed to be our objective player, and you just see him slay constantly throughout the whole game.
Absolutely. And he's one of those players where he's really underrated and he doesn't get as much attention as someone that's more of an outright slayer.
Right, absolutely. You see him right there push through the server side, but it looks like Krim is starting a little tear right now. I mean, 2-0. He's got this nice new camo that he got from the Microsoft Store via the pre-order, and it looks like compLexity is going to try and cap B, and they get it right off the bat here. And right here at the start of the game, if you can control B and hold it for pretty much the whole time, you're going to give yourself a huge advantage going into that second half.
Absolutely. We see Krim rotating around. He's just going to push through server side here. Spots one player. Unfortunately, he gets taken out by one of the Ruse guys, and that respawn delay is really going to affect this domination. I actually think it makes it a little bit more interesting.
Right, yeah. The respawn delay for domination definitely adds a lot more to it. If this was constant spawn, it'd be extremely difficult to cap flags back, and you see compLexity going for a 3 cap right now as we have Clayster, like I said, with an AR holding down that green street, but he's going to get flanked in the side, and it looks like we have a Ruse player going all the way over to try and get C, but he's actually taken out on a pickup. And let's jump on with Aches right now. 7-2, sneaky Beaver running around with his AR. He loves his AK.
Aches loves his AK.
Yeah, he does love his AK.
Now, gets 1 kill over on Etchy. Unfortunately, he does get taken out by Biffy in the process. So compLexity early on has a nice little lead there, 28-2, 28-12. Sorry, can't complain.
No, yeah, can't complain with that. And domination, it's a very difficult game mode to just blow people out, and it's kind of built so where the game's always pretty close, where you can't really blow a team out. But right now, compLexity knows the other team's going to be spawning today. You see TP camping corners, getting people angry, and right now, Ruse is going to have to defend their A flag. They have no option because if they get 3 capped, it's going to be a disaster going into the second half.
You really don't want a 3 cap. I mean, like you said, you did explain a couple of great strats to kind of push out from this map and regain control. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like Ruse are taking these early on. Let's give the Ruse squad some love, though. Who do you want to go on board with on the Ruse side?
Yeah, let's go on with. I was going to go on with Biffy because he's actually their best player right now at 5-8. But it looks like he's pretty much primarily just playing defense on their A flag. And right now, I mean, it's very difficult for Ruse to get out of the base, and that's 3 down for them. And you have Etch right now. He's got to get over and defend that B flag to make sure compLexity can't take it back and get an even further lead.
We saw Shock try and push up to that B flag a couple times. Unfortunately, the Cole guys are just have complete control over that B flag. And we do actually see the Etch guys going for that B cap.
Right, and you see Shock on the B flag, picking up a nice kill right there, but it doesn't look like they're going to take that back. And, I mean, right now, I'm jinxing everybody right now. And now you see Krim, he's got to push in and try and defend this B flag. And, Ruse neutralizes the flag, and like we talked before, it's always a good strategy.
Absolutely. And that's the reason why Cole are now able to cap the B flag, and they regain control of B and C here.
Right, and if I'm Ruse right now, I got to go over and I got to push straight through to the C flag. And it looks like what Biffy's doing. He's got to get over here. He's by himself right now. He's got to play extremely sneaky, extremely passive, smart play right there. And now he's got to push into C, but he gets taken out. I mean, that's an unfortunate play right there. But it looks like they had 3 down, Dom, and it looks like I want to jump on with Krim for a little bit. He's behind enemy lines. He's gonna have to go and try and neutralize his A flag to try and get map control back for compLexity, as Ruse has a 2 cap.
There was one player floating over towards the B flag. He is about to spot one player coming through this room, and that's going to be Etch. Takes out Etch, able to take over that A flag, and all of a sudden now compLexity have the A and C flags here.
Right, and this is an important time in the game right now for Ruse. They're going to have to determine which flag they're going to go back and get. Are they going to go back and try and take their home flag at A, or are they going to try and take C? And it looks like they're going to try and take C, but Krim's going to spot 2 players over here and takes both of them out. Huge plays from Crim6.
Crimbot, I believe, has been activated.
Yeah.
He just took over that C flag, and we do have one Ruse player trying to defend that B flag. That is going to be Doughboy with, I can't even see how much time we have left. 24 seconds. There we go.
24 seconds left. Yeah.
For some reason.
There you go. And 24 seconds left. I mean, you have Krim on a tear right now. He knows they're going to be spawning back that back server area, that back A area, and they're going to have to come through his left or into straight. And, you know, right now they're going to have two guys on the B flag, take it back, and it's pretty much going to end this game right here.
I mean, going into the second half here, it's 88 to 58, 30-point lead. It's doable.
Right.
But against the compLexity squad, I don't know if it's doable.
Yeah, you know, with a 30-point lead going into that second half, they're going to really have to come out off the break, and they're going to have to take the B flag and also neutralize compLexity's home flag. And, you know, you have Krim going big, 17-7, Aches 17-10, and EP 12-12, Clayster 8-10, still a good game, you know, playing his role, locking down that one side of the map. But, you know, just really for the Ruse team, they just really got outslayed right there. You're not going to win too many games on domination when you're going to get outkilled fairly bad. You know, Doughboy held his own 14-14, but we're going to need to see some more slaying out of Mike, Chris's brother, Shock. You know, he's 7-13. Going to need to step that up a little bit going into the second half.
And Biffy, I'd like to see him get a couple more caps and at least try and contribute to the team, going almost double neg with a donut and caps.
Okay.
Not a good thing on Dom.
Okay, you're just firing shots straight at Biffy. Biffy didn't even do anything to you, and you're just firing shots at him. But, you know, going in the second half, like I said, they're really going to need to come out strong with a strong break. You know, they're going to have one player only take their home flag, and they're going to need to push the three other players out. And probably, I think, to be honest, I would go straight for C off the bat and try and neutralize or get C, and, you know, let compLexity spawn mid-map or spawn control and try and play off that. And, you know, the second half's going to start. We have a 30-point lead going in for compLexity. What do you think is going to happen this side, Dom?
I think Cole are going to recognize that Ruse are going to go for the aggressive push. Cole are going to push back with an aggressive push on their own. And I think Ruse, I don't want to see them get greedy and try and go for a 3 cap off of that, but I'm worried that they might.
Yeah. And right now I want to go on board with, oh, what is this? We're in third person. All right, I want to go on with Shock right at the beginning. I want to see how Ruse is going to play this right off the start. And, you know, the game's starting 5, 4, you know, get a little countdown doing. And it looks like he might be using the tracker sight. This is one thing we've been seeing a lot of, actually, no, I thought he had it on, but the tracker sight's something we've seen a lot of players start to use recently, and it's fairly overpowered. I mean, when you flip the sight down and you just use it straight, there's pretty much no recoil. And right there, actually, Ruse coming up with Doughboy coming up with a big first kill right there. That's going to be huge for Ruse at the start of this game.
Gives them good confidence going into the second half. I mean, going down 30 points, like we said, in domination, not a good thing. Does get hit markers on one player on bridge and gets taken out in the process, and that's going to be Aches that takes out Doughboy.
Right, and that was all 4 down for Ruse, and right now compLexity's going to try and set up a spawn trap, and TP picking up 2 huge kills right there. And, you know, like I was saying before, TP, I think, at Columbus, I mean, sometimes a lot of the other Slayers, they take a little more of the shine away from TP, but I think he's probably the best player in Ghost right now.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, I think there are a couple players that could fight him for the title. We do see Clayster get taken out in the process, but like you said, I think TP is underrated but highly skilled.
Right.
I mean, he plays his role very well, and he seems to fit in nicely with your squad.
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, he is the best OBJ player in the game, and I think that's one of the things that separates us from a lot of other teams is that as an OBJ player, he's actually a former Slayer, so he's able to pick up so many more kills than a lot of other teams' OBJ players, which helps us out in those close games.
Now going back on board here, let's go on board with Ruse, give him some more love. We do see Doughboy actually pushing for this C flag, so he's just going to sit out in the corner here. There is going to be one player that's about to run in front of him. Gets shots. Nice kill on TP there. He is taking shots in the back, and unfortunately, Aches takes out Doughboy in the process.
Right, and, you know, Shock's going to need to go over there and get good defense of that B flag, but look, like we were talking before, compLexity is just going to go and try and neutralize their home flag, and it's going to force him to turn around, take eyes off that B flag, and take A back.
And compLexity, you know what? I thought they were going to make an aggressive push, but your guys played it even smarter. They recognized that they didn't need to make an aggressive push. They just needed to hold their own, and that's pretty much what they're doing right now. Right? We're seeing pretty much a tie game here. I mean, it's 30-32. Nothing over the top, but they still have 30 points over Ruse.
Yeah, and, you know, right there, that was the exact play that we were talking about. Once compLexity took that A flag back, they had Clayster sit on B. He was able to take it back, and then the Ruse can only neutralize it after that. But, you know, you see them coming in, picking up 2 huge kills, and I believe that's Etch on the B flag, but he gets taken out. And let's go on with Doughboy. Doughboy trying to spawn kill. No, we jinxed him. And here comes Shock. Oh, he gets taken out on B2. So good behold defensively for compLexity right there.
Codcaster curse is real, as Mr. X is learning.
I know. Every time I switch to somebody, you know, they just seem to get taken out. And you can see here, Krim, he's playing this extremely smart. He's gonna spawn kill over on this A side. They know that he knows they're spawning underneath him, and it'll be interesting when he sees they're losing C. He's gonna take that player out, and they're gonna know they're spawning over there, and you know they're just really gonna try and take this A flag and probably flip the spawns.
Now, we're going to see here, A still is neutralized. We are going to see one Ruse player trying to go for that A flag. That's going to be Doughboy sitting on that A flag. There's actually going to be another Ruse player with him as well. And Ruse able to cap that A flag back, and we're going to see them start to push out to B.
Right, but you know, Aches knows they're spawning back there, and he's just going to keep pushing in relentless right now for compLexity. And he takes out 3 players, I believe, and he's going to try and neutralize or take this A flag, and they're going to have them in a 2-cap right now. They're losing B, but at this point in the game, Ruse is going to need to really 3-cap for pretty much a good portion of the next time to come back and win this game.
I mean, 50 seconds left. Or sorry, 70 seconds left. Wow, my math is completely off today.
It's okay.
70
it's early.
seconds left. 50-second lead, including the 30 seconds from the first half.
Yeah.
I think it's mathematically impossible at this point.
Yeah, it pretty much is. You know, Ruse would have to go extremely huge. I actually think it is mathematically impossible at this point. So, you know, Krim is just going to keep slaying around the map. He has no regard for these guys. He's relentless, Krim. You know, once he gets on a tear, he does not miss. That's what's crazy about Krim.
Do you think anyone told Krim that we're playing Domination and not straight up TDM? Because Krim is just going off once again.
You know, Krim's a player where once he gets hot, you really don't want him near the objective or doing the objective. You just want him slaying, because once he starts thinking about getting on flags and all sorts of other things, it really takes away from what he does best as a player. So when Krim is on fire, everybody on our team knows it, and that's when you see players like Clayster get on the flag with 5 caps this game. You know, Clayster taking an A right now, neutralizing it, and I mean, you know, Ruse can never really get any control of the map. You know, there's a better slaying game out of them this half than the second half, but still, they really didn't have enough slaying to take over really the map and get control of any of the rounds. So, you know, right there, they're going to lose by about, say it's about 50 seconds total from both halves. So the compLexity is going to take map 1 here in the MLG 2K Sovereign Domination. You know, right after this, we're going to move to Search and Destroy, which during Columbus, it was actually our strongest game mode. We didn't lose any Search and Destroy throughout all Columbus. We lost 4 blitzes and 2 Domination. So right there, you're seeing that Domination game plays a little better at compLexity. And right now we're going to move into Search and Destroy, and Ruse is really going to have to come up big on this one.
Any suggestions for Ruse? I mean, recognizing that they're playing arguably the best team in Call of Duty right now?
You know, Search and Destroy, it's very easy for a team who's a little bit outmatched to kind of win. You know, you have to use your smarts and just your classes effectively and to your advantage, and you can't give away rounds, especially against a team like compLexity. Ruse is going to need to take every round very slowly and just plan methodically, and you know, go for that first pick. Don't really do anything crazy, and just kind of set up and push up the map methodically and just get those bombs down, and also play smart, good defense.
Pretty straightforward, guys. Go back and watch these VODs afterwards if you're an up-and-coming team, because right now you're getting free coaching lessons from Mr. X.
I'm just kicking crazy knowledge all over the place. Yeah, that way. I'm this way. So right now we're going to go to a commercial break, and when we get back, it looks like we're going to have Search and Destroy Warhawk in our MLG 2K compLexity against Ruse.